Yorkshire returned to the top of the LV County Championship table by completing the thrashing of Derbyshire by an innings and 113 runs in Chesterfield, in spite of a defiant 141 from the home side's Wayne Madsen. Derbyshire began the third day with a mountain to climb on 94 for 5 in reply to Yorkshire's Alex Lee's inspired 617 for 5 declared, and that left the home side with 372 more runs to get, just to avoid being asked to follow on. Richard Johnson hit an early boundary, but then the night watchman Mark Turner got a leading edge off a ball from Jack Brooks and was caught at mid-off by Andrew Gale. Johnson played well for his 46, but was the 7th man out with a score on 146, mistiming a shot off Adil Rashid to feed Liam Plunkett a catch at mid-wicket. So Tom Poynton decided to go on the attack, this the first of his 3 sixes in a brilliant cameo. He lost Peter Burgoyne at the other end. His debut innings was worth 15 runs before he nicked Plunkett behind, allowing Poynton to play some shots, as did Tim Groenewald, who pulled his second ball over the ropes for a maximum. He was soon LBW to Plunkett just after he'd earned his side their only point of this match. At least Poynton had some fun in a last wicket stand of 33. This 4 took him to a splendid 50, which was made off only 34 balls. He then hit 2 more sixes to get to 63, only to be left stranded as Mark footed edged Rashid to Adam Lyth. Derbyshire did well in the end to get to 235, but they still had to follow on after lunch, 382 runs behind. And a second innings defeat to Yorkshire this season was inevitable, as their top order was blown away again. Ben Slater nicked off to Brooks on 1. Chesney Hughes was well taken at slip by Gary Ballance after Lyth had initially parried the chance. Wes Durston was bowled, shouldering arms to Stephen Patterson on 2. Dan Redfern found mid-off via a leading edge to depart for 2 at 38 for 4. And Johnson fell for the second time in the day after edging Patterson behind to leave with his side almost down and out on 74 for 5. The only man who showed any kind of resistance was Madsen, a man who loves to lead from the front. With Burgoyne supporting him well from the other end, the skipper reached his half-century by taking 3 fours off 3 balls from Patterson to get to his 50 off 93 deliveries. It was the start of a brilliant innings, proving that Derbyshire do have the talent to stay up, although after their last 2 performances, that is now going to be rather difficult. Burgoyne did his job until just before tea, when he was another to be bowled, offering no shot. That left the home side on 120 for 6 at the break, still 262 runs behind. Madsen then took it upon himself to frustrate Yorkshire in the final session of the day. This superb innings showed plenty of character. It must have been tough for him to lead a side which has been beaten too many times this summer. All the joys of last season have been forgotten, especially in the last week when his side have been completely outplayed, first by Durham and now by Yorkshire, a side who are beginning to look a good bet to take their first championship title since 2001. They have a way to go yet, but you can't do much better than sit on top of the table at this point of the campaign. Madsen, though, seemed to find their vaunted attack rather easy to play at times. He chopped Brooks to third man for his 18th 4 to go to 100 for the second time this season. If just one teammate had been able to match him here, then this game would not have been so one-sided. This ton had come off 139 balls, showing just what could be achieved with some skill and the right application. Credit has to be given to Poynton too. His morning's innings had been a thrill to watch, while in the evening he'd backed up his captain well, as this pair added 111 in 19 overs. Madsen, of course, scored the majority of those runs with an innings which at least gave his side a chance of returning to the Queen's Park ground on Saturday. Alas for them, that didn't happen. On 29, Poynton was held at short cover by Plunkett off a delighted Patterson, the unsung hero of this Yorkshire attack. Groenewald was then bowled off a no-ball by Plunkett before falling LBW to Sidebottom, who then bowled Turner for a duck in the same over to leave Derbyshire 9 down with only 3 overs of the day to go. They didn't survive them, as Madsen was the last man out for an exceptional 141. Plunkett snaffled him off his own bowling to bring an end to the innings and to the game, with Derbyshire all out for 269. So the margin of Yorkshire's success was an innings and 113 runs, and their domination in this match was summed up by the points. Yorkshire took the maximum of 24 to Derbyshire's 1. That puts the visitors back on top of the pile with 149 points. Durham, who are 19.5 points behind but with a game in hand, are now their main threat. Derbyshire have now lost 7 times and are 29 points adrift of safety with half a dozen games to go.